a friend in London who's on about a 26k salary, okay? So that's below the national average. And the funny thing about him is he's happy most of the fucking time. Now, I find it absolutely incredible, and there's so much to learn from this guy. There's actually more to learn from this guy than there is most people that I've met on my travels the last 10 years. See, I'm in Dubai, as you can see behind me. There's the view from my balcony, Dubai Marina. Yeah, it looks all lovely, right? Ooh, snazzy. Ooh, all these new buildings. Ooh, impressive. I'm unimpressed, to be completely honest. What I found here is that because you're surrounded by other people who are solely focused on making as much fucking money as possible, then you end up with this idea. You heard the term keeping up with the Joneses. You see all these boats behind me, you see these beautiful apartments, and you think to yourself, fuck, I really want one of those myself. So you end up working your ass off in order to obtain these things. And you'll probably end up doing something you don't want to do. You'll probably end up spending time with people you don't even want to spend time with. And all of that is so that you can accumulate some of these materials that many people here in Dubai have accumulated, either because they're already fucking stupidly wealthy from their families, either because they've done a bunch of scams on crypto, there's loads of them out here, or they've genuinely worked hard and made their money, right? So respect to those people, absolutely respect to them. But what I find is, because everyone is constantly chasing something around here, right? There's always a car better than yours. There's always an apartment better than yours. There's always a guy with a better body than you around here, you know? There's always like something better that other people have. So you're going to find yourself chasing. And I found America to be the same. I mean, America's capitalism, right? And capitalism is all about fully capitalizing on any possible situation that you're in. And fully capitalizing, right? So trying to extract as much fucking profit as possible. So I understand that in America. Here, however, you see the Arabs, their philosophy hasn't always been to completely capitalize on business and to be as profitable as possible. Actually, Islam is very charitable and is a beautiful religion. If you read the Quran, I haven't read the Quran from back to front, I'll be honest, but I've got a lot of Muslim friends that have explained to me how the Quran goes and some of the core principles and values. And it is a beautiful religion, which is very pressing on charity. Okay? So charity is, I think I've got a bug crawling on me. Fuck, some fucking weird Arab bug crawling on me. So charity is a big deal in the Arab nations. But it definitely isn't in Dubai. Fuck no. No one gives a shit about charity around here. I'll tell you what they give a shit about. A Balenciaga t-shirt and a Hermes bag. Some fake titties. The nice new Rolex that no one else can get, but you've got. Ooh, makes you super cool, doesn't it? Apparently so. You see, besides all of this, and given the fact that no one gives a shit about charity, and there's such a big divide between rich and poor around here, I've realized that a friend of mine who is on a salary below the average salary in the UK is actually happier than most people that live in this concrete jungle. Now, I came here for 3 weeks to meet some of my friends, and I'm not going to disregard it immediately. I'm trying to move with an open heart and an open mind. But it's very obvious what this place is all about. It's just this concrete metropolis. And everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everyone's trying to make a bucket load of money to keep up with the next person. Everyone wants to buy the fastest car. Everyone wants the nicest penthouse apartment because there are so many unbelievable apartments and unbelievable cars. Now, I'm not saying that you necessarily have to fall into that trap, right? You don't need to fall into that trap. I'm doing as best as I can to not fall into the trap of keeping up with everyone else and being super cool, even though I will admit that to some degree I am also trapped. I have a big Instagram account, so I'm on Instagram. Not too often, but I am on Instagram. You know, I haven't necessarily been able to completely shut off the society around me. So I am trapped to a degree, and I will admit that. But I'm doing a good job of slowly learning more about myself and becoming spiritual and not getting so caught up with the reins of trying to be the richest man and the coolest man and the best looking man on the planet, because that's never really going to happen. The competition is stiff and there's always going to be someone better. But it just seems like even with all the money, even with a lovely house and a nice fast car, these people are not actually that happy. I mean, how can you be happy? It's a fucking weird material metropolis. It's the most pretentious place on the planet. So people that want to make money come here, and people that want to build their businesses. Of course, listen, these are generalizations. There are obviously some amazing people that come here that want to be genuine, that don't go out, that want to build their business in a tax-free environment. And that's understandable. That's great, right? Good for them. But in general, what I have noticed is that you're ultimately trying to keep up with everyone else. And it's so damn expensive here as well that you need to make a shit ton of money if you want to enjoy yourself. Right? You go out for dinner and it's $300, and that's a fucking not even the top spot. So it's extortionately expensive. But it just so turns out that my friend that's on a below average salary in the UK is a happier guy. He's got his friends, he's got his family, makes enough money to survive, doesn't save much money but gets to go on a holiday or two a year. And he's got the community feel. And again, the thing about the UK that I miss, even though I slate the UK quite often, is that there's an element of everyone needs to survive. And there's an element of human rights. You know, you get free healthcare, you get free schooling. The UK actually cares about its people. Over here in Dubai, nobody gives a fuck about you. You should see the way they treat people, the workers. There's millions of workers here that have built this place. No one cares about them. The way they speak to them is very rude. And there's this huge divide between rich and poor. Now, that's not necessarily the case somewhere like the UK. And that's why my friend, on a salary that's below the average, is happier and arguably is living a better life than most people out here in Dubai, who are just constantly chasing. And deep down, I don't know if these people are actually happy. Maybe you can help me out in the comments here. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't think I am. I generally think these people are not actually happy. I mean, can you really be that happy in this place? You know, you spend your days in restaurants, bars, on the beach. There's no nature here. You do walk on camels in the desert. I still think Europe is the best quality of life. And I think Europeans are still genuinely happy people. I know they're not flourishing in entrepreneurship, and I know Europe's on the decline, and I know that America and you know, places like Dubai and Miami and New York and these cities are still popping and flying. But what I've noticed in my travels is people in those big cities are not actually happy. They are the definition of a rat race. It's a bunch of rats racing each other, all trying to get to the top, never satisfied because it's never fucking enough. Whether as my mate over in London, who's got a below average salary, is looked after by the NHS. If he doesn't have a house, they'll give him a house. Happy with his community, happy with the simple life, plodding along, not trying to get too rich, not trying to compete with other people, just living his everyday life with his community. There's really something to be said for that. I think in that situation, I'd rather be him than be a miserable guy out here who's constantly chasing, trying to make more money in a place where it's just unlimited levels of money. And you're never really going to get to the top. Can you just be satisfied being average in Dubai?